Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Cropping pattern. Alright. So it involves raising of crops to obtain maximum benefits from the same piece of land. The land is limited, we cannot increase it. So from the same piece of land, how we can get more number of crops, better quantity and better quality of crops. So there are three ways of cropping pattern. First one is mixed cropping. It involves growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land. For example, wheat and gram, wheat and mustard, then groundnut and sunflower. These are some of the examples. So if a person has this land piece, he divides into two or sometimes even three pieces. So on one piece he will grow wheat, then gram and maybe potato or mustard is growing on the third piece. This is called mixed cropping. Okay, so land is divided into portions. Now, what are the advantages of mixed cropping? It improves the soil fertility, chances of pest infestations are reduced. Most importantly, risk of total crop failure is reduced. So there is insurance that supposingly there is an insect which affected this mustard crops. So this crop was lost. But there is an insurance that whole crop will not be lost. That farmer will still get the wheat and the gram which he has grown on the rest of the land pieces. So there is insurance from the total loss of the crops. That is one main advantage of mixed cropping. The next one is intercropping. In intercropping, what happens? Suppose this is the land piece with the farmer. It is divided into rows and columns, all right, and then one crop is grown alternatively in the column, then B here and B here, okay, alternatively few rows of crop A, then few rows of crop B. This is called intercropping. It involves growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same field in a definite pattern. A few rows of one crop alternate with few rows of other crop. The crops are selected on the basis of their nutrient requirement. This is very important, that the nutrient requirement should be less. For example, suppose this A crop needs more of nitrogen for its growth. So it will take up maximum of nitrogen from the soil. On the other hand, crop B takes up potassium and phosphorus, let's say. Alright, it takes up potassium and phosphorus from the soil. So these crops will not compete with each other. So all the nutrients present in the soil will be efficiently utilized by both the crops. So crops are selected in such a way that they have different nutritional requirement and they do not compete with each other. Examples are soybean and maize, bajra and cowpea. Okay, they are grown together alternatively to give a very good yield. So the advantages of intercropping: firstly, it ensures maximum utilization of the nutrients. Secondly, it prevents spread of pests and diseases to all the plants of one crop. Alright, so if there is a pest, okay, I'll show you again this diagram. For example, a pest there is an insect or pest which infected this B row. So this crop was lost. This insect cannot actually spread to this row because in between we have A, row of crop A. So it cannot spread to the whole crop. Sometimes only one row or one or two rows of the crops are lost. That is another advantage of intercropping. Thirdly, it helps to maintain the fertility of the soil. Alright, so these are the advantages of intercropping. Third type of cropping pattern is crop rotation. In this, what happens? There is a given piece of land, and alright, so in winter season some kharif crops are grown, then in rainy season kharif crops are grown, in winters then some rabi crop is grown, sometimes in between potato or some leguminous plants are grown, which increases the fertility of the soil. So that way, after this kharif crop is harvested, another crop is sown. Once that is harvested, the third crop is sown. This is called crop rotation. So different crops are grown on a piece of land in a pre-planned succession, that is one after the other. One crop is grown on the field, after its harvest second crop is grown on the same field, then this can also follow a third crop. So what are the advantages? Firstly, it helps in replenishing the soil fertility, alright. So whatever is lost, it will be replenished by using leguminous crops. Secondly, it enhances the production from a single field, okay. From a single piece of land, the farmer will get 3 types of crops in a given year. So the total production, total yield and total actually the money earned increases for the farmer. Thirdly, it prevents depletion of selective nutrients and reduces the need of fertilizers. Because of this leguminous crops, what will happen? Because of this leguminous crops, nitrogen will get replenished and the need of fertilizers will reduce.